You know, there's like everything here, man. You can talk about anything.
And
plus, there's also polls that they post too. Like, what would you do if you lived in a galaxy far, far away?
And then, of course, there's always endless discussions about, is Boba Fett the coolest character in the galaxy? I think not, but other people do.
Boba Fett is pretty cool, man,
but his dad, Jango Fett's so much better.
Yeah, but dude, to tell you the truth, man, I gotta give it up to my boy Han.
True, he did kill Boba Fett.
Dude, it's Han Solo.
I'll give you that.
Dude, Han shot first. There's no cooler.
Even if he shot second, he still dodged.
Yeah, but dude, that's what makes him great, though. He didn't fucking dodge. He just shoot. That's it. Toasty Greedo. That's all. Dude, that's what it's all about.
Dead Greedo.
Oh, that's great. He just has that look on his face. Oh, it's great.
Sorry about the mess.
Okay, so then we're going to go down to continue our little introduction to TGC. Then you have the Game Zone. The Game Zone is actually our newest form on TGC. We usually have temporary forms from here and now, but as far as a permanent form, the Game Zone is our newest one, because for a long time, games would be in box office, and like there'd just be too many threads. They'd dominate everything, and Keel would try to merge them together and try to keep them organized, but there's just too many of them. We're nerdy. We like video games. And so the Game Zone's where we can release. It's staffed by Karen Dorn, our Scottish staffer, and that's where we talk about everything from the Old Republic to Call of Duty to rants about if you like Zelda or Mario or, you know, Nintendo's newest console, Halo, anything. That all goes there.
New Elder Scrolls game.
Skyrim. Excellent.
Yes. Can't wait, man.
It's a place where you can nerd out.
That, right?
Of course.
Right. You heard about that whole thing with the whole, like, you know, two-hand system now. You can, like, roll around with, like, two axes in your hands and just chop things to death. I can't wait.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, no, dude, you could, like, have spells mapped to either hand. You could roll around with now, like, with a shield in one hand, spells in the other. You could roll around with, like, a couple of daggers in your hands or just one big-ass warhammer. It doesn't matter. It's so cool.
Wow.
Oh, yeah, dude. I'm totally going to go Conan the Barbarian on the fucking dragons. Pardon my French, but...
And I know that thread in there is full of... Oh, my main job in that form is I just keep up with the news. I'm not a hardcore video gamer. I have video games, but I'm not a hardcore one. But I just put up the news, and everyone else just discuss the heck out of it.
Oh, yeah.
And then we have...
I'm an avid gamer. I'll say that. Avid. Not hardcore, but avid.
So what do we have next, Ket?
Let's take a look here. Got lost in the game zone. That happens a lot. The polls and posting. Oh, this is a great one. In here, it's exactly what it says. It's polls and it's posting games. It's great.
So for those who don't know, what are posting games?
Oh, dude, posting games are awesome. Like word association game. You know, we're like person above you game. That's always a fun one.
So like word association, like I'd say like white, and you'd say
Jack,
and I'd say killer, or something like that, and we just keep on going.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So what are some of the newest polls that went up today?
We have a fair few, my friend, a fair few indeed. Let's take a look. We have. Oh well, here's one near and dear to my heart. Have you ever smoked pot? Let's take a look see here.
What are the numbers?
I don't know. I'll tell you in a moment. Let me vote. Not telling you what I voted. Oh, we have 2 votes for yes, 4 votes for no. It's a recent topic.
Okay.
Let's take a look see. What else do we have? Something a little bit more lighthearted. Excuse me. Oh, here's a good one. Well, the apocalypse was here. Did you die?
I did feel a little tingle in that one. But
the sad part is I'm expecting a lot of death.
We'll see what happened, though. Is I got raptured, I flew up, my clothes all fell off, and I flew up, and then I saw boobies, and I just collapsed down to the ground. My mind was just blown.
Oh, well, that's what happens. Well, the numbers don't lie. 4 people died, like I expected. 2 people are still alive, and 7 other people felt a little bit of a tingle.
That's pretty
I
good.
wonder if it was, like, in their toes. Or was it in their naughty bits?
Or maybe both.
Whoa, hey, whoa, hey. Pick one, man.
Okay, I'll pick one.
Toes and naughty bits, man, that's a little overboard.
I'll pick the naughty bits.
I knew you would.
You know me that well. Okay, let's have a look. Next, we have a special form. occasionally on TGC we have special forums, like around Christmas time we have like Christmas forums and Valentine's forums, and like when NFL starts we usually have like a football forum. Just when there's going to be like a lot of topics about a specific thing for a short amount of time, we have a specific forum.
And usually you can always tell that, these are the special ones that are just there for the time being, because usually the link itself will be another color, like yellow, or red, or blue, not the standard.
Yeah. So. And this time around, it's a community meeting, because right now we have some specific topics on TGC, which, well, we're trying to discuss and see what we're going to do. Like, there's one which I mentioned in Keel's diary about the class picture, where people are trying to put up photos on the Facebook to make like a yearbook photo for TGC. There's a discussion. It should be pretty cool, now that we're all actually putting photos up.
Yeah, I got to put a photo up, man.
And then we have the TGC's Wiki Improvement Project. We actually have had a TGC Wiki for a very long time, and Ticira Hawk is the one hitting that up for the most part, and she's been getting people to post their character in there and post RPs in there. I think the last time I got involved in that was about 4 months ago or so, and I just went nuts and created like something for all my characters and lots. I think I created like 20 topics in an hour, like an hour a day at work, because I was really bored, and that's the only website I could get on was Wiki. So I just typed my heart away.
You know what? Screw it. If it worked, man, go for it.
Exactly. But the main topic in this one, the main two, one is about should takeovers be resurrected, and the other one is if we should have a new faction. And they're currently discussing ideas for new factions and what we should do. Because right now TGC has 3 factions.
Yes.
Simple. There's the light side factions, which are the Jedi and the Alliance, which are together. There's the neutrals, which are like the criminals, pirates, smugglers, the underground. And then there's, the dark side, which is the Empire and the Sith. Exactly. And at times they're split, sometimes they're together. Right now they're all together, and they're coming up with ideas to create new factions, because more factions usually brings more blood and more ideas. But at the same time, a lot of new factions don't always survive, because seriously, if you could be a Sith or you could be a pirate, most people would rather be a Sith. It just happens.
I was actually having this discussion earlier today. Sith, pirate. Sith, pirate. On one hand, you have the epic, amazing powers of the dark side at your command. On the other hand, there's Sadie, the hottest pirate on planet Earth.
I'm a little bit biased, though, because I run the pirate faction, so it's just me. So let's continue going down now. We have our meeting. The meeting right now, these forums usually stay up for a couple of weeks or so until things are settled, and then their topics get merged everywhere else.
Yeah, it seems to be that way. It's like once everybody's kind of like, all right, we're in agreement, yeah, and then everything gets archived.
And then, why don't you tell us about some of our role-playing forums? We have 2 of them, and just tell us some of the things which are currently in role-playing and what's going on.
Well, the first one, Star Wars role-playing. It's pretty obvious. That's where the role-playing goes down. Basically, it's also known as the Battleground. I like this place. I think the Keel, put it best. It's kind of like the Wild West of Star Wars in there, man. Anything that you can do happens. Like the Crusade. That's the big thread right now. We'll get more into the specifics of that thread probably later in the show. But basically, the Crusade, 1,915 replies.
Wow, that's a lot of replies. What's the average numbers of replies in NRP?
In average, you could have anywhere between, I don't know, I'd say on a light RP, you could have 40 to 50, on, just a quick little one, it could be 20. On average, I'd say somewhere in the 60 to 80 range.
That's not bad.
Because you get a fair few where they're like, you get 200 replies here, 150 there, 300 here. If it's a bigger, more faction-spanning thread, you can get, upwards of like 5, 6, 700.
And so this Crusade, how long has it been going on?
The Crusade, I think since the beginning of the year.
And how many posts are in it right now again?
1,915.
Impressive.
Oh, dude, the views, almost 25,000. 25,000 times this has been in some way, shape, or fashion. That's pretty damn impressive.
I do agree. It's actually going to be, as Keel said, it's probably going to be the top RP of all time at TGC. Unless it dies all of a sudden, which I doubt it will do.
Oh, man. Yeah, well, like I said, we'll get into the bits and pieces of that thread specifically later in the show. But let me tell you, crazy stuff going on.
We'll probably bring a guest like Ticira or someone like that into to talk about it, because I think she's been one of the main people in the thread.
Oh yeah.
I'm going to make sure I get her invited shortly.
Yes. She definitely seems to be, depending on your outlook, either the protagonist or antagonist of this specific thread.
Okay. So we have the role-playing section, Star Wars role-playing, which is the Galaxy, which is where we have all these RPs where we nerd it out.
Oh, yeah.
But also, in the role-playing section, there's something else. There's another section called the out-of-character section. What exactly does that mean? Or the OOC, as we'll probably mention it from now on, because we're too lazy to say out-of-character. What does OOC mean?
Out of character.
And like, what do we do there? Though, like, what do we mean by out of character section?
It's our out of character where us the writers talk, and this is where you go. If say you want to advertise, that maybe you want to see if anybody wants to do a thread with you. If you have an idea, you put like discussion threads for current role play topics that you do. You'll often find that when you go into the main role playing board, you might have a topic like let's say. The Moonlight Ball, which is another big thread we have going on right now, where everybody's getting together, in character, and everybody's, just kind of getting together to have a nice time, party, hang in, hash it out. Although there are a fair few of us that think it'll turn into a bloodbath. More on that later as well. But you go in there, you see the Moonlight Ball, but you're curious. You don't really know about it. You want to know what's going on, who's there, who might be going with who. You go check out the out-of-character thread. Right there, the Moonlight Ball. It's sister thread, if you will. You click on that, and right there it gives you who's going with what, discussion between people about what's going to happen, maybe, plotting certain little events to happen. Basically just to get the creative juices flowing, really, bring it out in full play. And then, you have all kinds of other stuff in the out-of-character forum, too. Like, you can have, what do you want to do next? Like, for instance, we have a discussion going on about a half-year role play, for the 6 months into 2011. We got people, there's another one where Mac Manto needs talented hands there for creating a video for a role play. You kind of put everything.
Okay. So it's a pretty cool place to be. I know I don't usually frequent there myself, but whenever I do an RP, I usually just wing it and go for it.
Oh, and then look at that. Right there below the community forum, what do we have? Yes, the bane of our existence. No, I'm just kidding. It's the TGC chat.
And then, of course, we have our archives, which, let me tell you, our archives for the RP section are pretty darn thorough. They're big, and they're so big that we can't keep everything we want to keep. It's impossible. So sometimes people's RPs just disappear. We're talking about RPs, and you mentioned about the Crusade. And so joining our call now, we have, the instigator of the Crusade, we could say, Ticira Hawk, who, let's say, she's been the main mover of this entire story, an epic story. So, yeah.
If I may.
Yes, you may.
I do believe that this seems like it's the proper time. I think it's time for the spotlight, my friend.
Hello there. We interrupt this broadcast to bring you a special role-playing announcement.
Wrap it up, fuzzball.
Post to the thread, for Christ's sakes!
Caffeine will kill you!
Ha-ha!
Oh, behave.
Yes, yes!
Nerd alert!
You're in the spotlight now, dog.
Welcome to the podcast, Ticira.
Yay!
Are you with it? Hello.
How's everybody?
We are good. We even had an intro for you and everything.
Yay! I feel so loved.
Okay, so... Oh, you are loved. And that's, except by the Empire, which we'll find out shortly.
Oh, yeah, they hate you.
Oh, they do.
So, the spotlight for today is the Crusade. Can you tell us about this mammoth RP, the Galactic Crusade? We've already talked about it in the diary, how it's going to be the #1 RP of all time at TGC, and we talked about it, in the RP section, how it's just a beast. But you've been quite intimate with this RP for quite a while, so what is this RP about? Like, what started it, and what the heck is going on in it?